Thank you very much, and I welcome all of you to this very exciting debate and interaction. I sincerely do appreciate Amnesty International for making it possible that I'm here. And I will just be sharing my experience because I come from the most impacted region of the world. Niger Delta, as most of you have heard, used to be a very beautiful place with wonderful environment, fertile arable land, and rich in food and fish. But that was the condition before oil was discovered in commercial quantity by oil exploiting companies from Europe. That was coming many years after slavery and colonialism. The black man never wanted to have anything to do with a man with a white skin anymore. But, I mean, they came to say that you don't have the expertise to exploit oil. We can do it, but it will better your life. It is better than the farming and the fishing that you are doing. You will have so much money. There's so much money attached to oil production. And the people, in their ignorance, accepted that and went as far as even declaring holidays and bringing out traditional cultural dances to welcome agents, so-called agents of development then. And it was not quite long before community people discovered that they had been duped by the oil companies because they were fast becoming poorer than they were before. Their land haven't been taken over by the oil companies. There were huge pollutions everywhere. And in an area where land is scarce and the oil companies are taking over the whole land and nothing is put back, it was becoming so difficult to feed, to eat, and to contribute to communal development as it used to be. I've said that we were fishermen. And you will ask how we managed to lost livelihood in fishing. That happens because sometimes when there is spill, there is no immediate response. And because we live in an area where we have so much rain, the rain will wash these spills directly into the river. And most times, they actually discharge waste into the river. And of course, we don't have pipe-borne water. The only water we drink is the river water, and when that has been polluted, the human beings still drink it, but the fishes die faster because they are not as strong as human. And you may have heard about gas flaring too. That is one terrible thing that go with oil exploitation in the Niger Delta. Gas is flared 24 hours a day in close proximity to human habitation. Because in the Niger Delta, most parts, like the Ogoni where I come from, oil is found in people's homes, school premises, farmlands, and we have a government that are into a criminal alliance with the oil companies that have dispossessed community people. And so nothing is put back. Frustrated as they were, the landowners decided to take companies to court. And instead of the oil companies to confront these issues and solve them, they prefer to bribe the court officials. And they will keep adjourning the cases. It is ridiculous that a case could be adjourned for 10 months. They will adjourn a case in January and ask you to come October. And the people will be frustrated. Some will withdraw, some will die. And they were so tired of doing that. And the civil society came in to assist. They couldn't go any further until Ken Sarawiwa, who was well-traveled and educated, has to educate the people on their rights. He told them what oil is. He told them the benefits and profits that those who own oil in Europe, like Norway, Texas, everywhere, what they get from oil. How oil have changed their lives, how the environment is treated. At least I've gone to several countries of Europe, Paris, Netherlands, Switzerland, Brussels, Austria, everywhere. I've gone to some European nations, have never seen a water pipeline, as harmless as it is. But we have a situation where Shell and other oil companies lay dangerous pipelines conveying highly inflammable substance on the streets, school premises, family homes. Children have to struggle to cross the pipeline to enter their homes. That they don't do outside. They bury their pipeline. They do their work in a very decent environment. They pay rent and royalty to community people. This place they don't pay. So at the end of the day, the people have lost their land. They have lost their means of livelihood. Their health was threatened. Poverty has set in. Illiteracy was increasing because they have no more money to send their children to school. And the public school system has been deliberately destroyed so that children of the poor don't have access to education, because when they are educated, they will ask the corrupt government official questions on how their money is being spent. That was the condition before Ken Saro-Wiwa came in to say, no, enough was enough. And he mobilized the Ogoni people, and they have the courage to put up their demands in what is now known as the Ogoni Bill of Rights. That was submitted to the government of Nigeria in 1990. The Ogonis waited for 3 years. There was no response, and they decided to take their destiny in their hands. In 1993, precisely, they went to every oil well belonging to Shell and put it off. Said, we have not profited from oil. All we have seen is loss of land, livelihoods, health hazards, because gas that is flare has a terrible consequences. When you flare gas, the acid rain that later fall is so poisonous, as that does that if it touches the roof, it will open over 1,000 holes in the roof same time, in less than 2 months. A new roof, we use zinc in Nigeria. And when that same rain falls into the river, what we drink is poison. If it's touching your skin, it rashes and all sorts of things. And when you breathe in the poisonous air, you know, lung sickness, different things that we were not seeing before were happening. Women were bleeding, giving birth to deformed babies, miscarriages, and terrible things. And nobody cared. No environmental impact assessment have been done. There have not been any health audit. And to make matters worse, nobody in Nigeria knows the volume of oil that the oil companies produce, because no one has the expertise. Only the oil company knows. We don't even know how much that comes from oil, because it is embarrassing that after 50 years of oil exploitation in Niger Delta, with over $600 billion that has been produced, that there is no community that you can turn on tap, pipe-borne water. I mean, that should not, no one should even ask of it. We don't have electricity. The gas that was supposed to be processed into energy use for community people is flared because it is easier and cheaper for the company to flare and make profits for European countries. They pay huge amount of taxes to their government. And on their website, they have beautiful principles and responsibility, this and that. But in practice, it's zero. And that has been the situation in the place. And so when Ken Saro-Wiwa took up this campaign, the oil companies told the government that this was a dangerous campaign. You know, the live wire of your economy is oil. This campaign will collapse the economy and destroy the country. Let's deal with this man to teach other community people a lesson. And they did. They arrested Ken Saro-Wiwa, framed him up, sent soldiers to community, destroy community, kill people, rape women, committed all manner of atrocities, and set up a kangaroo military tribunal to try Ken Saro-Wiwa. He was eventually sentenced to death by hanging on 31st October 1995 and given 30 days right of appeal. Within 10 days, when the man was still filing his appeal, he was taken to the gallows and executed. Executed for asking that the community should profit from resources from their land. It is even mad that Nigeria that produces oil has no one functional refinery. The oil companies prefer to build refineries around other African countries, steal crude oil from Nigeria, refine, and sell it back at cutthroat prices to the people. These are the profits and benefits of having oil in Nigeria. And because we don't have much time, I will just show you some photographs of what we see there. I know that Spain does not have an oil company in Nigeria, but Spain consumes gas. They are the highest consumer of Nigerian gas. That gas is a stolen property. If you are caught with a stolen property, you are a thief because you connive. You are an accomplice. Shell has never, Spain has never cared to ask how they got the oil. And I'm not sure that in the trade agreement with Nigeria that they have human rights or environmental rights clauses in the agreement. And these are the things that we want the government to change and to look at. And also that those of you that are here could also speak to your home countries to set minimum standards for European companies working overseas, because it's the image of your nation that they are destroying outside. When they were kidnapping there, they don't know whether you have Shell or whether you are Jeep or whether you are Repsol. What they know is that you have a white skin. You are an evil man. They kidnap you. Innocent people were kidnapped because of evil practices of a European company. They must set standards for them, minimum. They must be accountable. There must be business plus human rights. I will briefly just show you This is supposed to be a cleanup. Whenever there is a spill, what they do is to pay local contractors, and they just dig a pit and scoop the crude into it and set it on fire. In developed countries, you don't do that. I've just seen the oil problem now in the Gulf of Mexico. Just one oil rig caught fire, and there was smoke. And there is everywhere. People are saying, hey, pollution everywhere. But we live with this every day. We drink poisonous water and live with a terrible environment. Nobody cares. One oil rig, only one. The whole world is shaking. I mean, we don't understand the kind of double standard that people... So this is what they do. And when they set it on fire, most time it will go as far as 7 kilometers. It can burn up the whole community. And nobody cares. This is a road that people pass. This is last year, 2009. A road that community people pass to farm, to work, to school. With this spill, and they have to make this. Not person care to give them another road to pass. The community set up this. This spill will be here until there will be rain that will wash it off into the river. And at last it will cake like this, and this land is lost forever. Nothing will grow here. These are women who preserve their food in the river. When there is fire outbreak like that, they lose everything, and they are just helpless. Animals too that live in the river, they find way into community. This is an alligator that is not supposed to be in the community, but because of the fire outbreak, they ran to the community, and it coincided with when I paid a visit to the community and I begged them not to kill the alligator. We were taking it to another river. When an oil wellhead is not serviced for some time, there are spills, and when the spills are left like that, when the oil well is not capped, it leads to fire outbreak. Most time, they allow the fire to stay for 2 months. 2 months within the community. You cannot see your next door neighbor because of smoke in the community, and nobody cares. Nobody asks about the health. People are dying every day. These are gas flaring. This is even good that it's down, some are up, as you are seeing in photographs there. 24 hours a day for 50 years, in close to people's home. Whenever I'm in Europe, because I believe in nonviolence, I carry out some activities against the oil companies. This is a peaceful demonstration to block gas station belonging to Shell for about 3 hours. I got to some communities where they don't have, and I asked for cartons with Amnesty people, and we use the carton to build artificial Shell station, and we block it too and do some interview and leave. Last year, there was a case between Shell and Cancer. We were in New York, U.S. So while the trial was going on in New York, I also organized an artificial mock trial at home that sentenced Shell. They were guilty in this court, even if they settle out of court in New York. Most time, when the police are after me, because 2 days before I came to Europe, I was beaten up, arrested, and detained. I don't know. They never wanted me to come, but somehow. But that was not the first time. This is one of the times the Nigerian police wanted to arrest me. And the youths, over 500 youths said I should not go alone. They are taking me to the police. And when we got there, of course, you cannot detain 500 people. Most of the time, I've been let off to go. This is campaign against gas flaring attack from community to community to tell them know how poisonous and it is. And when I learned that Shell was to come back after 15 years to Ogoniland, the president has been there for 3 times. I have to mobilize the people, and we bought this casket and put Shell logo on top and take it around the community and invited CNN and many media people, and they got the message Shell could not come because of this. And these are Leave Our Oil Under campaign. These are just some of the non-violence activities I've been carrying out. I thank you so much for attention.